DIMAGA currently up 1-0 against Drewbie in the round of 8 with some amazing, amazing long-term focus play, even though Drewbie opened with a sick mech opening, getting an absurd amount of tanks and Thors, and eventually a giant Marine Marauder army to boot. It just was not enough, as DIMAGA just had such great Broodlord timing, such great expansion timing, and was relentless with those attacks. Let's go directly into Game 2 between Root's Drewbies and MTW's DIMAGA. DIMAGA spawning in the bottom left is a superior yellow color. That is, of course, my favorite color in this game. He is in the bottom left as the yellow Zerg. In the top right, we have Drewbie as the red Terran. Now, in the last game on Metalopolis, because it was absolute cross positions, top versus bottom, players do have a tendency to go a little bit into the macro mode. In particular, Terrans know that once they secure that gold expansion, it's almost impossible for any Zerg to be able to break him. So that means the Terran can hold the gold and take 5 bases behind. His main, his natural, the corner, another main, and another natural. So, that's why we ended up seeing those games play to such an incredible length. However, on this map, on Xel'Naga Caverns, taking a third can be a little tough, considering that one of them is here, kind of in the center, and this other third opens up so many more attack paths. It's really the 4th bases that start becoming quite difficult. So you see a lot more aggression. It's going to be the Terran going to be low on bases versus a Zerg who will be getting 4ths and 5ths a lot sooner. DIMAGA is opting to get a lot more drones in this phase of the game. Will he be saving up for a hatch? It looks like he is getting a 15th drone, so I would not be surprised to see him throw down a hatch. Clearly is not as concerned about some kind of bunker rush. Even though really most people think that the early second hatchery is the best way to combat against those 2 racks bunker plays, it doesn't mean that it ain't fun. So it does seem to be that Root Drewbie is not doing any sort of 2 racks play, just going for the very fast gas, continuing to make lots of SCVs. There's the Overlord parked in the center cavern, very important piece of terrain, as you do end up seeing most of your opponent's movement. That first SCV will end up advancing to this hatch, and in the production we do see that the spawning pool is done. More drones coming out for DIMAGA. He has made a lot of drones before throwing down that expansion. No 14 hatch, 13 pool, something more like a 16 hatch, 16 pool. Wants to make sure that he has enough drones to be able to defend a 2 racks bunker rush and still have a little economy left over. That's generally the main reason why people do it, and really DIMAGA is still accounting for that. He hasn't done any scouting, he's just playing very calmly, keeping every drone back in his main. Let's see how he ends up responding. There's that. Oh, Drewbie going to sneak in 1 bunker. It looks like DIMAGA hasn't seen any Marines come in yet, so he's still feeling comfortable. A Reaper coming out for Root Drewbie. We see only drones. Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness. No Zerglings at all coming out for DIMAGA. He might be able to throw down some sort of spine crawler in time, but instead we see just 2 Zerglings. Now a couple more Zerglings being made. DIMAGA now sees that there's a bunker going down. Drewbie continuing to make Reapers, saving up money, could be expanding after this, but in the meantime, it looks like DIMAGA is going to have a lot of pressure right at his front door. But as we see, DIMAGA might actually end up being fine. He's already beginning to wail away at this bunker. Oh, wow, is he actually going to try to intercept? Oh, he thinks that Marines are coming. Oh, no, and the Reaper just waltzes right up. DIMAGA going to go ahead and take a little bit of free hits on that hatchery. He's going to let the hatch take some damage, and then he will be advancing forward with the Queens and the Zerglings all in one big fell swoop. Looks like with the gas, DIMAGA not doing anything yet, waiting for that second Queen. He's going to try to kill this off. He doesn't want to let Drewbie salvage it. He wants to kill everything that was committed to that bunker rush there. The 2 Queens darting forward right now. All the Zerglings now beginning to surround. The Reaper does manage to pop out, and he starts to salvage it, and will he be able to salvage it in time? Yes! Amazing play by Root Drewbie, literally doing free damage, forcing his opponent to throw down more Zerglings than he wanted to, and in the meantime, look at this command center going down for Drewbie. 4 more barracks up as well. There's the stim beginning with the Marines. Very nice transition from Drewbie, and even so, he still has a little bit of extra time to kill off some drones in the back of the base. It looks like he is doing some significant damage. He's already picked off 3 drones, 4 right now. Will he be able to get a 5th? And yes, he does manage to get a 5th one. DIMAGA also getting Zergling speed. He committed so many larvae to Zerglings at the start, he may as well get that upgrade for them. And DIMAGA like a good Zerg should, getting a lot of those extra creep tumors. He can begin spreading around the map. With these extra barracks done, what will the play transition be from Drewbie? He's getting one tech lab, and it looks like he is immediately following up with a double reactor play, investing in the mass marine, and likely going to be getting a very fast combat shield from that one. There's the reactor coming up. This command center has just finished, and up to this point, DIMAGA has no idea what Drewbie's actually doing. DIMAGA just trying to find something after he's ended up defending that rush, and that's going to be pretty telling after he sees a lot of Marines getting produced, no Marauders up to this point, no combat shield getting started at this point. Would definitely be wise to invest in that. It would behoove him significantly. There's the Roach Warren going down. Roach speed is being researched. No drones being produced at this point in time. DIMAGA actually quite low on drones. Looks like he will be going for a big Zergling Roach defense instead of the traditional Zergling Baneling defense. Drewbie still not willing to move down that ramp until he gets the stim. There's the combat shield going down. Drewbie really having a lot of patience. Very easy to move out too early and lose everything. There's the bunker going down for Drewbie. Still not willing to move down the ramp until the instant that stim upgrade finishes. He picks off the Zergling, playing very cautiously, but still gearing up for some future aggression. More drones being made. And again, Roach Infester. We see that there's the infestation pit going down. There's the Baneling nest going down. Ooh, very, very cool big mass ground play by DIMAGA. Doesn't look like any sort of Mutalisk will be coming up soon. And Drewbie now advancing forward. We do see that combat shield's getting pretty close to finishing. There's the engineering bay out as well. No other tech structures, and factory going down now as well. It looks like Drewbie has halted production for the time being. And there's the Overlord in the middle. It's spotting this huge push coming up from Drewbie. DIMAGA trying to pull back. Does he end up having that combat shield? It's so close to being finished. A lot of Zerglings coming out right now for DIMAGA. Where are the Roaches positioned, though? Does he even have any? It looks like he has 3 Roaches out right now. Not many at all. In the meantime, Drewbie going to be spreading those Marines out. Very easy play. Move forward. Your opponent makes way more units than he should, and then you pull back and keep macroing. No upgrades coming out from this eBay yet. Factory now finishing up. DIMAGA gearing up to take a third at that gold, as he does get the plus energy upgrade for the Infestors and Baneling speed coming up, so a lot of huge ground force action going to be en route for DIMAGA, but it looks like DIMAGA sees that there's another push advancing, so he's just going to Baneling it up. With this big creep spread, it's a lot riskier for Drewbie to push. Oh, so he's going to scan and pick off the creep tumors. That will definitely help these future pushes from Drewbie. He's already spreading out his Marines to pick off as many of these creep tumors as possible, thereby reducing the amount of creep that these Banelings have to catch up to this force on. And there's the stim. Looks like DIMAGA's going to back up. Oh, huge wasted stim from Drewbie. Almost no shots are getting fired while he's under the influence of that stim, and here come a few Zerglings, Banelings, and Roaches, and a second stim, 35 health on those Marines right now. That does mean that the Banelings can one-shot them, so he has to be very careful, but wow, nice control by Drewbie, sliding down that crack of gold to escape. Could have perhaps phrased that better, but you know what? It was right the first time. There's more Marines and Marauders being researched, plus 1 coming down. Reactor on the factory. It looks like Drewbie's going to be emphasizing big Marine Marauder play. Not quite the Marine King Prime style, only Marine, because those Marauders are so good at absorbing the Baneling hits. So it looks like he is going to be getting, though, the medevac. Drewbie wants to have a very mobile force, not investing in any tanks yet. Ooh, even getting the +2 upgrades, getting the second engineering bay. There's the command center going down for Drewbie. He really, really wants to have big macro this game. The key for Drewbie is he needs to be very, very aggressive if he wants to be able to keep that expansion alive. DIMAGA, again, with the very safe third hatch at the natural expansion. And without any creep spread, it's going to be a lot harder to pick off all those Marines and Marauders. Very nice spread there by Drewbie. The Banelings are trying to hit the Marines, but oh, great control there by Drewbie. The Infestors, a few moments too late, do not get to trap any of those Marines for the use of those Banelings, but he could throw down a fungal growth. Oh no! 2 key fungal growths miss. DIMAGA will have to cancel that command center, and Drewbie playing absolutely marvelously, but still knows that with a bunch of weakened units, it's not worth it to try to pick off this hatch, as it's such a high risk of a bunch of Zerglings and Banelings marching in and picking everything off. There's the Marauders. The Marines getting produced as well. Looks like the 2 engineering bays have not begun researching the 2-1 upgrades. There they are going down. Double ups. There's the stim to try to pick off this hatch. Will he be able to pick it off in time? No! It looks like he didn't even get the chance to cancel it. And with no creep spread, DIMAGA does not want to engage all those Marines and Marauders. There's a planetary fortress now being constructed. Drewbie playing very, very well, but Drewbie played amazingly last game, and DIMAGA still found a way to crack it. In the meantime, back home in DIMAGA's base, he has 2 evolution chambers, but has not begun doing anything with them yet, as he's been under such tremendous pressure that he just hasn't been able to stop spending money on the units. There's the Queen now marching forward. It looks like to spawn a creep tumor up at this far north side of the map. Absolutely looking to continue to get that goop everywhere, so those Marine Marauder forces are easier to surround with Zerglings and Banelings. Destructible rocks going down, as DIMAGA really does need to get that 4th base up to battle this very fast gold from Drewbie. And in the meantime, looks like Drewbie is still just going Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs, and is adding on a ton more barracks, really keeping the aggression to a max. Uh-oh, there's the stim, just with the Marauders, just advancing those forward so he can pick off this hatch. It does get canceled. DIMAGA still running on so few bases. Uh-oh, the Infestors really need to get to the front. The Banelings are trying to march forward, but the Infestors are not in range. Oh, Drewbie pulls back most of the Marine forces. The Medivacs will be able to heal them. DIMAGA really not looking very healthy at this point in the game. He's continuing to make a lot of units out of these 3 hatches. He's already going for a hive tech. We've seen DIMAGA do this before. Just relying on that adrenal gland upgrade. Looks like the creep is continuing to be spread. This is pretty much where DIMAGA was in the mid-game. But that one amazing scan by Drewbie managed to pick everything off. There's another barracks and another command center going down by Drewbie. He's favoring more of the Marauders, as we can see. Almost all tech labs going down. Only has 2 barracks making Marines, and we do see that his +1 armor is done. +2 attack very nearly done as well. There's the good old missile turret sensor tower in mid, because that, again, is such a key piece of terrain. DIMAGA still does not have a 3rd up. He's trying to retake the gold again. It's a little riskier, but he really kind of needs to take the risk if he wants to advance. Uh-oh! Oh! Key fungal growth! Oh! That's exactly what DIMAGA needed. He finally cleans up that huge force in one blow. Drewbie, who was playing so carefully with his micro for so long, missteps one time and loses everything, but fortunately Drewbie does have macro on his side. He has 8 barracks churning out units, has not begun to get that +3 attack, but is on the way to +2 armor. There's our medevac coming out. Drewbie knows with no huge ground force, his only key is harassment. His only key is to abuse mobility. DIMAGA still producing only Zerglings, Banelings, and Infestor. This Overlord will be able to spot this medevac. Let's see if DIMAGA can respond in time. Responds instantly, pulling everything back. Adrenal upgrade coming up for the spawning pool. No +2 ups. Drewbie, interestingly, is out upgrading his opponent. And will he be able to get the fungal growth? No, he throws a fungal growth down, but it whiffs. Another base up right now for Drewbie. Needs to morph that into a planetary fortress ASAP to be able to keep that alive. Very cutesy little missile turret placement up on the high ground. But Drewbie going to be swinging around to this backside, keeping DIMAGA distracted. Oh, so smart, Drewbie. Oh, keeping all of DIMAGA's focus here. DIMAGA's probably happy to have killed the drop, but look at this counterplay by Drewbie, darting forward, picking off almost all these drones, advancing forward. That hatch is going to fall, and once again, DIMAGA just cannot seem to get a 3rd base up. Drewbie kills them off and retreats again and again and again. And with this kind of macro, it's going to be very hard to keep up with Terran. The only thing that really DIMAGA can hope to do is get off another amazing fungal growth plus Baneling play. That's going to be the one hope that he has, but this is just a very paltry force compared to all the barracks count of Drewbie. Drewbie now throwing down a lot of starports. Love this play. Oh, going for battle cruisers. Fantastic to go for late game battle cruisers. Corruptors so expensive. Hydralisks so expensive. Virtually any form of anti-air is way too expensive for Zerg to be able to hold off. And there's the small stim play. And here comes a huge force from DIMAGA. Some perfect fungal growths get thrown down, but Drewbie does not even care. He has so many units that it don't even matter. Now Drewbie is marching forward, picking off one infestor at a time. DIMAGA's queens are vulnerable. One queen falls. One of the only remaining hatches for DIMAGA is getting picked off, and there's the good game, tying up the series 1-1 Drewbie, who's been playing very well in both games, did manage to take the win in the second one. DIMAGA's really going to have to buckle down and play a lot better defensively if he wants to be able to hold off. After all those creep tumors got eliminated by that scan early on, DIMAGA was so crippled defensively, he needed to wait a little bit longer with those infestors, have a little bit more patience, because those banelings did